Hi, I'm the Derp Guru and welcome back to my channel. I have decided this morning that I'm going to do a series called the Dory Files. And the Dory Files is going to be a place where I talk a little bit about our home education journey. Now, the reason why I chose the name the Dory Files is twofold. One, because if you've ever seen the movie Finding Nemo, you will be aware of the character Dory. And anybody in my family will tell you quite quickly that I can be a bit of a Dory. But secondly, the reason why I chose the name is because often in my home education journey I have sang her mantra to myself. There have been many days that I have sang the song, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, towards an end goal, which in our case has been to raise adult children that can function and contribute to society in a positive way, that believe in themselves and are self-aware and are confident and courageous to be themselves in any environment, and are passionate about something, to raise children that are aware of their own gifts and talents, their own strengths and weaknesses, and can do whatever it is within them to make this world a better place. However that happens, in whatever way that their path leads. So my philosophy has been to raise children that can discover their path, can discover who they are, and can be that person well in the world. So yeah, in order to do that, it has often felt like I have had to just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And a bit like the jellyfish that Dory had to swim through in the movie, sometimes that river, that ocean can be a little bit toxic. Not everybody around you understands home education. Sometimes your family may not understand it. Sometimes your family may be vehemently against that journey. You may lose friends along the way. I know I certainly have. People that somehow took what you were doing as a threat to their own choices, who didn't understand what you were doing, who somehow thought that by you choosing one thing meant that you thought what they were doing was wrong. Whatever. You know, friends, family, and that's without even getting to the stranger in the street who stops you with your children and says, why aren't they in school? And you say, well, they're home educated. And you then get a tirade of toxic thought and emotions that really is their issue and has nothing to do with who you are as a person, how you live your life, your values, your morals, your educational philosophy. And then you have the people that make preconceived judgments about something that they more often than not know absolutely nothing about, whether they've picked up negativity from the media or through a story that somebody's told them once about somebody. You know, quite often you're dealing with quite ignorant people, and I say that in a way that isn't meant to be offensive. I'm not saying that they're ignorant in terms of their intelligence. I'm saying that they're ignorant about home education. The average person on the street doesn't realise that it is legal in this country to home educate your children. The average person in the street believes when the media says that every child has to be in school at age 4, that when they see your child is out of school that you are doing something wrong. Well, no, the Education Act says that children can be educated otherwise. And so there is a general kind of ignorance about the law. There is a general kind of ignorance, excuse me, about what home education is, that home education isn't necessarily school at home for lots of families. While some families choose to do school at home, for other families they are investigating and immersing themselves in alternative ways of educating. We've kind of come to a crossroad in our society that says what curriculum the government says is good, and what everybody else does is bad, and if you're not doing this thing then you are bad. When in actual fact there are so many different philosophies of education, there are so many different ways of learning, there are so many different learning styles that children have, that often we kind of narrow things down in what we perceive education to be. We decided that we would educate our children at home because we wanted to give them a more individualised education. We wanted to allow them to explore their own interests. We wanted to allow them the freedom to be who they are without the pressure of peers or a fishbowl experience of what society is. Society is not everybody just relating to the same age group of people. And so I wanted to say to my children that it is okay to be different, it is okay to not fit in the box, and it is okay to be whoever it is that you are to be in this world, and to empower them to be that person. So for us, that's what the journey has been. Sometimes it's been smoother than others, and then other times it's been a real hard slog, and that's been okay too, because I felt very strongly in my early days of motherhood that this was my life. This was my life's goal, my life's ambition. You know, other women go to work, and other women have careers, and other women raise children at home and do voluntary work and whatever it is that they do, and that's great, and I support you, sister, in whatever it is that is your calling for your life. For me, I felt very strongly that mine was to raise my children at home and to educate them at home. And I remember holding this little newborn in my arms, and whether it was the leftover cesarean drugs, whether it was hormones, whether it was being overtired, I remember holding him there and looking into the biggest of eyes and thinking, what the heck am I going to do with this child for 18 years? I don't know nothing. I know nothing. I don't know anything about raising children. I just spent 3 years at teachers college, learning how to be a teacher, but know nothing about being a parent. And as I sat there, I guess I started to think about the type of man that I wanted my son to be. And it was somebody that was resilient, that could find his own way in the world, that was prepared for life, that had the necessary life skills to go into life well, that knew that it was okay to be himself, that could find his own gifts and talents and be okay with them and to use them well for society, that knew how to love and be loved. And these were the kind of traits that I envisaged in this, this man-child baby that I was holding. A bit surreal when you think about it. And as I started to look at this man off in the distance of what my son might become, I started to think, well, how are we going to do that? How are we going to get there? How are we going to make sure that he is okay with these things? And the obvious choice for me was home educating. Not because we wanted a bubble experience like many people think. People kind of assume that home educators, do so, educate the children at home to keep them into some kind of bubble. No, that's so not me. I wasn't about bubbles. I am about age-appropriate learning, but I'm not about bubbles. I wanted him to be able to experience the fullness of life, at age-appropriate times. And part of that for me was looking at his future and thinking, how can we do that? And working back in that journey was home education. And so for us, we've now been home educating for near on 16 years. I have a child at university. I have a child doing her national diploma and an English A-level. I have a child at school. She has just gone to school this April, and just last night was offered a conditional place on her college of choice for the coming year. And then I still have 2 little boys at home, who today we're going to meet some other home educators for lunch, because we do socialise and we do have an extended network that we're a part of. And then we're going to go and watch the ballet. So that's a little bit of fun for our day. So yeah, this is our journey. Welcome to it. Thanks for journeying with us in even watching our videos. I know many of you are also subscribed to my son's channel and various of my other children's channels, and so thank you for being part of our journey. I'll just end by saying that if you have any questions about home education or the way we do it, please feel free to leave them in the comments, because that would be just fabulous to be able to answer those and have some direction of things that people may want to know, rather than just me rambling on, as I seem to have done this morning. So I'll leave it there. I need to go and pretty myself up for the ballet and make sure I've got 2 appropriately dressed little boys. We'll catch you later. Thanks so much for listening. All right, take care. Bye.